Oh god. Okay. Okay, yeah. So unfortunately I'm not live on YouTube. Oh no, I screwed up on YouTube. I'm gonna have to start all over again. Okay. Hello everyone, this is Dalster and welcome to another Mental Health Talks, number 10. Just 10 lives that I've done so far with Mental Health Talks. And today I have a lot to talk about, and for those of you that are watching on Twitch, thank you for waiting for a little bit. And first off, I want to say thank you guys so much for watching my last live. I've got over 300 views, and that is insane. I usually don't get that much on live videos or, the day after, once I finish the lives and then it's put on YouTube, but that is crazy. 300 views. Thank you guys so much. I know it's not nothing, but um, it is something for me. So thank you guys so much. That means a lot to me. You guys are really great, and the fact that you guys are interested in what I have to say is also really motivating for me. And I was gonna do a live tomorrow, but tomorrow I actually have to go somewhere. I have to learn how to do makeup because I have no idea how to do makeup. Um, so today I actually want to talk about a couple things and what's been going on with my life. And there's been a lot of new information regarding Quiet on the Set, which is gonna be happening this Sunday. I'm not sure what time because I know that in Investigation Discovery it's like at night, but I don't know about HBO Max if it's gonna be streamed in the morning or the same time around ID Investigation Discovery. So we'll see. Um, yeah. So I do have a lot of things going on. Unfortunately, I haven't been really updating on YouTube other than just doing shorts and this live because unfortunately something happened on Monday, and I'll talk about it at the end. But excuse me. But so if you guys want to know why this picture is on here, it's just the reason why I did this one is because I wanted to talk about Quiet on the Set, and also it kind of relates to my Reiki experience that I had. I did a Reiki experience last Saturday, and it was really fun. I mean, it wasn't actually, no, it's not fun. It was really worthwhile, but I wanted to talk about Quiet on the Set first before I get to the Reiki and what happened on Monday. So let me see. Okay. So the reason why I wanted to talk about Quiet on the Set is because I'm planning to do like a Twitch stream on Sunday. I just don't know what time though because usually I like to do things early in the morning, but because I don't know what time they're gonna have the Quiet on the Set, who knows? Maybe I'll probably might have to do it at night. It is a two-parter. I mean, four-parter. So 2 episodes on Sunday and 2 episodes the next day. And from what I found out is that the first 2 episodes focuses on all the other actors, the former child stars, and the third episode focuses more on Drake Bell, who unfortunately is the one that got identified as the guy who was hurt really badly by this stupid pervert, good for nothing, named Brian Peck. And I know what you're thinking, like, oh, Drake Bell's also in the wrong too. Well, yeah, I know that Drake Bell did some really bad things, but unfortunately, the reason why he did those things is because of Brian Peck, and unfortunately, it's like a cycle of abuse type of thing. So, yeah, I mean, I feel bad for Drake Bell, but I also do kind of like look at him and just think like, oh, he did this to his victims too, like Brian Peck. Well, maybe, I guess, sort of, but I don't know much about it. I know for a fact that Drake Bell got guilty in child endangerment, but he didn't plead guilty to other like child, p word and stuff. But I don't know. It'd be interesting to hear what he has to say regarding it. I know a lot of people are just like hating on Drake Bell, calling him a P word and a crazy guy, but I do blame Brian Peck for a lot of things and everything that's happened to Drake. So we'll find out what happens with Drake on Monday possibly. So if you're more interested about the Drake episode, it is gonna be on Monday. And I don't know if I said this, but I want to say thank you guys so much for giving me so many views on YouTube. I know that lately, when I do my lives, I don't usually get that much views um, unless it's like something worthwhile. But I just want to talk about a bunch of stuff today. Um, so have been a lot of clips recently. If you go on YouTube and type in "quiet on the set," there were these two clips. I just saw one today, but I think the first one that came out this week was really shocking. Like I even told my coworker, my brothers, my mom, and they were shocked too when about the first clip. Well, they didn't watch it, but I told them what was in that first clip. So in the first clip, we see a guy. His name is Kyle Sullivan, and he said that he was at Brian Peck's house. And when he went inside the house, I know, really bad idea. Um, Brian Peck supposedly had like a painting of a really bad serial killer. I'm not kidding you guys. You could look this clip up if you can, but it's really bad. Brian Peck actually had a painting of one of the craziest serial killers named John Wayne Gacy, the killer clown. I'm not kidding. And he also like autographed it, I guess, in the back of the painting. And supposedly, Brian Peck had like letters, like he was pen pals with John Wayne Gacy, and I'm like, what the heck? That's crazy. Like I was shocked. The fact that Brian Peck was pen pals with one of the craziest killers on top of Jeffrey Dahmer, John Wayne Gacy. Like John Wayne Gacy is the type of guy that just looks like you would tell him, "Hey, don't cuss at church," and he would be cussing at church. Like, oh my god. I've actually watched a little bit of that movie that came out where it had like a bunch of worms and ew, it was nasty. I only saw the ending. I didn't see the whole movie. I know for a fact that John Wayne Gacy is a serial killer and he killed a bunch of people and managed to get away with it for so long. I don't know what people find attractive of him. Like, he's not really that attractive. But yeah, that was crazy. And I don't know why Nickelodeon never did an investigation on Brian Peck, especially considering he has like ties with John Wayne Gacy. John Wayne Gacy died of lethal injection in 1994. I checked recently. I don't know much about him other than the fact that he R-worded a lot of little boys and killed a bunch of people, like 31. I think maybe it could be more. But yeah, that's insane. I don't know how like words can't describe how shocked I was. I was like cussing and being like, how in the world did Nickelodeon let this guy be in be work with them, considering he is a John Wayne Gacy fan? That's just crazy. That's diabolic. I don't know why they would do something like that. Obviously, they don't care. I mean, back then in the 90s and so forth, 1900s, I don't think people really took things seriously as they do today. But God, that's crazy. John Wayne Gacy. It's no wonder. I think maybe. You know what I think? I think maybe John Wayne Gacy probably sent some letters to Brian Peck and told him a bunch of stupid stuff, which probably caused Brian to end up doing the things he did, like go after little boys and. Ugh. I swear this Brian Peck guy is just disgusting. I don't like him. Like every time I see him, his picture, I just want to flip the finger at him. Like he's such a disgusting person. I don't know how. How in the world did this guy get away with so much? How? I want to know. Um, but not only that, but he also had some people like famous people as friends. Like supposedly, in Boy Meets World, Brian was close friends with Ryder Strong, who plays Sean from Boy Meets World, and Will Friedle, who plays Corey's brother, Eric. And it's funny because I recently started rewatching Boy Meets World. I'm like close to the end of the finale. I'm on season 5, and just I actually watched the podcast episode, and I kind of at first I kind of feel bad for them, but then in a way I kind of don't feel bad for them because they didn't really apologize to Drake, or I guess they didn't. I could have sworn in that episode they mentioned Drake's name somewhere, but they never really apologized. They just said that, oh, I feel sorry for myself, that I was involved with Brian. Brian did this. Brian hurt me. And I thought he was my friend, but he was a groomer. And I'm just like, well, aren't you guys going to say sorry to Drake? Like, say, like, I'm sorry, Drake. But they never said sorry to him. They just, or didn't even mention, like, oh, the victim, the real victim. They just, like, kept talking about themselves and Brian Peck being a total disgusting person. And it's just crazy to me that I wish they would have apologized. I wish they would have been like, hey, we just want to say to this mystery guy that we did not know about, we're sorry that we sided with Brian Peck. We should have known better, and we were very scared. But we didn't know that you were hurt really badly. And I know it's been a couple years, but we're sorry that we sided with Brian, and we believe in you. We're something like that, but they never did, unfortunately. I don't know why, and it kind of sucks. So I'll find out what happens on Sunday and Monday, because I'm at a point where I'm just like, should I just continue to watch Boy Meets World, or should I just stop? Because I just don't like the way that Will Friedle and Ryder Strong, they didn't really apologize. They just said like, oh, I felt so bad for myself for associating myself with Brian Peck. I don't know if this is gonna affect Hollywood. Who cares about Hollywood? Hollywood's already Holly weird, like everyone's been saying. Like, there's been a lot of things going on in Holly weird. I don't know why people just. It's just crazy, you know. I always see like a bunch of former child actors who were affected by Hollywood. Like, it's just a never-ending list. Like Nickelodeon stars, Disney Channel stars, idols from the past, the 70s, 60s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. It's crazy. Like, it's just a never-ending list of former child actors that unfortunately got messed up because of Hollywood and the fame. How, you may ask? Because they weren't taken care of. I mean, they were basically on set, and, you know, once, you know, the cameras stop rolling, it's just, you're pretty much on your own. Some parents might probably take care of their kids, but others... What's that? Others probably don't care, unfortunately. So in the next clip, I actually found out that there was this lady. You could look on the clip on YouTube, but she was talking about she had a daughter who was in an episode of All That. I think it was only one episode, and she mentioned how like she was getting emails from okay, sorry about that. I was just checking if everything's okay. But she was getting emails from this guy. I don't know who it is, but you know, cause back in the day, you couldn't like email people and do selfies and whatnot, cause it's like the '90s. And supposedly her daughter talked to a grown man, and after a couple emails, she got an email where the grown man was in a picture naked, and was doing nasty stuff while naked. And the mom was like, "Well, should I tell the police?" And she never reported it to the police. And her daughter, I think she mentions in the end that her daughter never went back to show business after that. And in my opinion, I'm just like, why didn't you tell the police? You could have at least told the police or something. I don't know. But we'll find out what happens because there's just a lot of things. I think tomorrow they might release another clip because they keep releasing clips each day. And I don't know if they're gonna put more clips or whatever. But ugh, there's just a lot of nasty stuff on the whole quiet on the set. It just keeps getting worse and worse. Like there's just so many things coming out already. Like I recently found out that Drake Bell, he sent a message to a fan. I found it through Alexa Nicholas's pictures. There's also an Instagram account called Insidious. No, or is it Obscure? Obscure Nickelodeon. And they have a lot of details regarding Nickelodeon and what the dark stuff and stuff. So I was looking at it and they said that Drake Bell wrote replied to a comment saying that he never got an apology from Will Friedle or Ryder Strong, which is crazy. And it's kind of sucks because I remember people mentioned on the some of the videos that supposedly Drake's mom was all like, "Look at all your famous friends," and that doesn't change the fact that what you did to my son. And then Drake went. I guess Drake probably went on the stand. I don't know. I found it through a bunch of videos too, and in Alexa Nicholas's videos. And Drake supposedly said that, "How dare you?" to the crowd in the court. And I was like, wow, that's gotta take guts to do that. Like, I mean, to be honest, I myself have always been called out when I was in elementary school, so I know what it's like for people to not believe you. And no, even my own family too. Like, I know what it's like, but for Drake, it must have been really hard. Like, I could understand why he did a lot of things, but again, doesn't excuse what he did. But I do feel bad for him. I don't think it should have happened to him. I don't think it should have happened to anyone in general. But I hope that whatever happens with this whole quiet on set thing, I hope that justice gets solved or something. Cause honestly, it's really effed up. Like, I'm sorry, but it's effed up what these producers, Dan Schneider, Brian Peck, and all these other people have done to a lot of people. A lot of damages. I mean, you could tell a kid, like, hey, you suck. And they could carry that towards their lives for the rest of their lives. And I'm not lying. Like, whenever you mess with a kid, it's not funny. I mean, you would think it's funny, but then as they get older, it stays. Like, kids are sponges. I remember my psychology teacher told me that kids absorb things like sponges, and unfortunately, that stays with them for a long time. Which is why I drew this picture, and it says inner child. I was I wanted to do that because the star. I was trying to draw the star from the Wish movie. I haven't watched that movie yet, but that that star is supposed to represent like the Reiki experience that I had on Saturday, and the cloud's supposed to represent, like more bad things come in your life. You're still gonna go through difficult obstacles no matter what. But I honestly cannot wait to see the Quiet on Set. But I'm also kind of nervous too and scared because it's probably gonna get darker. Um, so yeah, I don't think there's a lot of people on chat right now. I think everyone's just going to bed because in my area here it's like 10 p.m. Um, so if in case you guys want to watch my Twitch stream of Quiet on the Set, my reactions and stuff, I'll be doing it this Sunday. I might have to do two lives the same day because I have a really like very I wouldn't say it's a slow computer. It's like a very tiresome computer. Like every time, the more I manage to go live, the more it gets so tired and makes so much noise. But I'll do the best that I can. Um, so the Reiki experience. I wanted to talk about the Reiki experience that I had on Saturday. I went to a psychic fair, and don't worry, I didn't see that many psychics. I only saw one, but it's because like I was trying to make sure I wasn't spending or overspending money because when it comes to me and psychics, I'm very skeptical. But I try to do the best that I can to make sure I don't fall for any tricks or anything like that. Um, the Reiki experience, honestly, it was. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it helped a lot more than the psychic I saw. I'm just glad that the psychic didn't let me pay over $30. But the Reiki experience, even though it was like $45, it kind of helped a lot. Basically, what it is, it's like some kind of practice where the Reiki people they just put like their hands around you. I guess the energy is supposed to come from their hands and supposed to transfer to you somehow. And while I was doing that, I remember the person he was wrapping me in a blanket, and then he had like this weird thing covering my eyes. And I had my mask on. I always carry my mask wherever I go. I don't trust people. But yeah, I was pretty much like laid to sleep. I think like for almost an hour, and I could have sworn to you guys the moment I laid there, all these bad memories, like flashbacks, bad things that have happened in my life, started flooding in. And at first, I thought maybe I was over exaggerating, but once I got out of there and found out more about Reiki and people who I was talking to about the Reiki thing, it kind of makes sense as to why I had so many bad memories. Like, I'm not kidding you guys. Um, there were a lot of bad memories. Like, for example, there weren't that many of my dad, like, being, like, because unfortunately my dad was verbally abusive. There were some memories I had with my mom telling me that I'm fat, which unfortunately is true. I am overweight. Um, there were some bad memories of ex crushes that I had, my best friend, and oh, my bowling experiences. Just mostly the sixth grade bully. I was gonna do a mental health talks, talking about my bully from sixth grade, but it's just a lot has happened over the few days, so I'm probably gonna have to do it some other time. Um, some memories of my ex crushes. I talk about that. I think I said that already. Um, oh, I don't know if you guys know this, but in 2019, I think February, I was pushed to the streets by a random lady, and unfortunately, that injured my. I think it was my right arm or my left arm for a couple days, but I survived. Yeah, I was thinking about that, and then I was thinking about what else was I thinking about? Yeah, but there were some good memories too, but I guess I could talk about the bad ones. Not much about my dad actually. Just him saying that I'm useless, but that was a long time ago. That was like early childhood, and then my mom calling me fat and her being worried about me, and it was mostly about guys, supposedly bad memories I had with guys, some social media posts, messages I had with guys, whether I liked them or not. There was this other guy who was BFFs with this ex crush of mine, one of them, and he was also in there too. Like there was some messages that he said before, right when he was about to block me. He said that what did he say? He said something like, "Oh, you're not as close to so and so as we are. We've known him years." And yeah, I was thinking about him, and then I thought about like my former crush I had this year that unfortunately things did not go well in the beginning of February of this year, and I talked about it in the previous mental health talks that supposedly this YouTuber who I had a crush on said some really vile things about me, saying that I've been an issue in his own stream on Twitch. I'm not kidding. And yeah, long story short, it was basically some messages. Is it weird that every time you read messages from other people, you could somehow, in a way, hear their voice in their message? I don't know if that's just me being weird or what. Um, and then this other crush I had, where he called me mentally unstable, obsessive, and aggressive. And then there's this girl who is really in a band with this former crush of mine, another one, and she was all sticking out her tongue, and it was mostly just her. Cause I sometimes look at her Instagram and she's always like, well, she doesn't always do it, but I see her sometimes sticking out the tongue. And it's really annoying. She really acts like she's all better than. Well, I don't think she is, but she acts like she's prettier, which I don't think she's that pretty. I mean, she has a gap like between her teeth, and every time I post things on Instagram, I notice that she always posts things on Instagram too. It's like a competition between me and her. I don't know why. I don't know, like, but she doesn't even know me. Um, another my ex crush is mostly just him sticking out his tongue, which he usually does. I usually go online, and when I see his Insta stories actually, he's always sticking out his tongue. Just to let you guys know, this guy's almost 30 years old and he's still sticking out his tongue, and then like shaking his head. It's really annoying. He's like 28 years old, about to turn 29 this year. Really annoying guy. Um, what else? Oh, and my best friend. I had some visions of my best friend that he was really upset when I told him if he was in his house, just him. And he told me, "Look, if you think my girlfriend is in the house, you're wrong. She's not in the house. I don't know what's going on with you." Something like that. Yeah, that was when I he never responds to me like that, but when he sent that message, I was kind of scared. I was like, "Whoa, man, you're being a little harsh." And I told him that too. Um, there were some good memories I had. I heard somewhere in the background my aunt saying "Happy birthday to you, Happy birthday to you," and my aunt passed away in 2016, unfortunately. But before she passed away, she would always sing "Happy birthday" to me, whether she was in Kansas, where she was living at before she moved to Mexico, Colorado, California, or Mexico. And yeah, that's another story I could talk about too. Um, what else? Eh, just a bunch of other stuff. I can't remember honestly. Is there were just like the moment I entered Reiki, it felt like all the bad memories, flashbacks that I had of the past were like coming like all at once, and it was creepy. It was kind of scary too, and irritating a little. I'm just like, okay, am I being over dramatic or is this how it is? And then I saw myself as a little girl, like about 5, 6 years old, maybe 4. And then I saw all of a sudden I see my grandma, and I'm like, oh my god, it's my grandma, and I haven't seen my grandma in a long time. My grandma unfortunately passed away the same year as my aunt, 2 months after my aunt died. And yeah, it was really sad because like I was hoping that someday my grandma and my dad would meet each other again face to face, but unfortunately that never happened because after she died in 2016, my dad finally went to Mexico in 2017. But it is kind of sad that I never really got a chance to experience my dad and my grandma see each other for the first time in years. I think the last time they saw each other was in 1999. when my grandfather unfortunately passed away too. And yeah, it was definitely a weird, wild experience. After I finished the Reiki, I just felt this. Oh wait, just, there was also one more thing too. As I was doing the Reiki, I kept hearing a voice in the back. It kept saying, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry," so many times. And I'm like, is it my voice or is it some random voice? And I asked the person who did the Reiki, like, I kept hearing someone say I'm sorry so many times in the experience. What is that supposed to mean? And he told me that, well, maybe it's supposed to be about someone that felt really bad and they passed away and they were trying to reach out to you and apologize, or it could be a god. And I'm like, a god? Maybe. I mean, it's possible. I mean, there's these things that people like to talk, like when you're in the healing or doing stuff like that. There's these things called archangel, like angels watching you, like Archangel Michael and other archangels. But I don't know. It's like a long story. But I know that for a fact that there are angels that watch you. I don't know if you guys believe in that stuff or not. I mean, I kind of do believe in that stuff, but I don't know. It was definitely a weird experience. After I finished it, I got so tired. I was like, I want to go to sleep. I want to go to bed. But I tried to pull through. And then I saw a psychic, but I don't know. They just basically told me to just, take it easy and not push myself so hard. And I don't know. It wasn't really that much of a help, to be honest. I mean, the psychic was a really nice guy person. I think they just identify as they them, and they kept on mentioning songs like, oh, you should listen to the song Boston called "Don't Look Back," which I'll probably listen to. And then he told me like other songs like "Bad Day" by Daniel Powder. I had that song on my iPod actually, and "Unwritten" by Natasha Bedingfield. That I should follow the advice of the songs. And I'm like, okay. But that was pretty much it. I mean, I bought a ring, but unfortunately, I don't know where it is. I think I lost it, unfortunately. I was supposed to keep it on while I was at Disneyland today, but because I was kind of a bit worried, and I didn't talk about this in my video, but um, one of my ex crushes who lives in another state, him and his band are currently in Los Angeles right now, and they're doing a gig for a freaking expo. And I was really scared about going to Disneyland today because I thought maybe somehow I would bump into them, which is why I wanted to bring the ring. But I guess it either dropped while I was in the taxi, or it's probably somewhere in the house. But luckily, no one got hurt at Disneyland. I managed to survive, and I didn't see anyone. But I did. There were some people that looked like them. I was like, oh, it's that girl. But that one had way more muscle than this girl. I don't know if I'm supposed to like mention it, but I was really scared. I know I did find out that they are currently in Los Angeles, so, and unfortunately my brother's doing a marathon this weekend and he'll be in LA too, so I hope they don't bump into each other. But yeah, it's just like I said, it's been really stressful the past few days, mostly this week because I've been really anxious. Unfortunately, I have some good news and bad news. So the good news is I might be posting more videos because the bad news is I got cut a shift. So it's most likely I'm gonna start doing more videos, which is kind of a good thing, but it's also kind of a bad thing because that means less money. But I mean, I'll see what I could do with YouTube. I'm almost close to 500 subscribers. Thank you guys, by the way. And the number just keeps growing and growing, and I really appreciate your guys' help, support, and everything you guys do for me and this channel. It helps a lot. It makes me really happy. Even if you don't give me donations, that's still fine. I still like you guys. You guys are awesome. I wouldn't be where I am without you guys. Whether you're on Twitch or YouTube. Um, so how long have I been on? 37. Okay, but yeah, the Reiki was like around $45, even though it was a kind of a huge chunk. It was definitely worth it in my opinion. I mean, I kind of want to do another one, but probably in a couple months, just so it doesn't become a habit and I end up spending a lot more than I should. Yeah, gotta be careful with my budget because things are not looking so great, especially being cut a shift. Yeah, it kind of stinks. But oh well. I also have to start driving pretty soon too because I'm planning to do my behind the wheel tests in the summer, so that way I could at least like I'm planning to do it probably after my birthday because in July somewhere because I don't want to get like I don't want to do my test while there's kids in school in case something happens. Worse, hopefully not. But I'm definitely gonna be careful in this one. I know last time when I did my test, the first time it was disaster, and I had to like do whatever I can to get my driving rights back in like 10 years, almost 10 years, and until my case finally got thrown. So I got really lucky. Unfortunately, I waited 9 years. Definitely not worth it. When you take your behind the wheel, make sure you're ready. And if you're not ready, then I don't know. I would just start the whole process again. But again, the whole driving, the written test, I personally think it was hard. But for some reason, my brother, who just recently took it, passed it the first time. I'm like, what? How? And I took that test like 6 times, passed it on the sixth time. That's how hard it was. But I mean, I do have a disability, so it's kind of hard. And I'm very claustrophobic as well, so that doesn't make it any easier. Accommodation? No, they will not help you with that. But I mean, I did go to Disneyland today, and I don't know, I was just tired, like exhausted. Unfortunately, I had to walk from a hill from my job all the way to Beach Boulevard, and it was like so much work, so much walking. Ugh, I just felt like someone was pulling me from the back. Um, Let me see. But I do need to start exercising a lot more, because I mean, I'm almost close to 1,000. Well, I'm close to 500, which is pretty good. But I would like to show my face someday. But unless you guys are subscribed to my TikTok or my Instagram, and again, can you guys please show some love on my Instagram and follow me there because I only have 6 followers, and yeah, that's not a lot. Let me see if I could find it somewhere. Yeah, so I have this Instagram account. It's a brand new one because the one that has the photography one, I don't use that anymore because it's like I mean, Instagram's changed. It's no longer like about photos anymore. It's more like about it's more like about reels, which kind of bugs me, but oh well. I liked Instagram went back when it used to be about photos. But if you guys want to follow me on my new Instagram account, you can. I'll have it in the chat right there. Or if not, you could check in my bio on YouTube. Or if you're on Twitch, it should be on my bio somewhere. Um, so how is everyone today? I don't know if you guys are all excited about Quiet on the Set this Sunday and Monday. I'm actually kind of nervous about it. I'm excited, but I'm nervous as heck. I just hope nothing. I just hope. I will say, if you're gonna watch Quiet on the Set, or if you're gonna watch my stream, there might be a lot of moments where I'm probably gonna have to take a pause because they said it's gonna be a heavy experience. So I would just be careful. Um, so I do have a video coming out. I was planning to release it today, but because I'm doing a live, I think I'll do it tomorrow morning. In case you guys are wondering or curious about the Dark Side of the Ring episode reviews, I have not started the newest one this week, so I'll probably start it sometime next week. But I did recently finish episode 5 of season 1, and I'm almost done with it. I'm halfway done with it. It's the one with Chino Hernandez, in case you guys are wondering. That should be coming out sometime next week too. If not, maybe somehow early in the week. Depends. Um, so the reason why I want to talk about my a video that's coming is because I was rewatching it, editing, and I noticed that my tone is very depressing, very sad. Well, I guess I could tell you what it is. It's basically me going to Hobby Lobby and looking at Easter decorations. But the day I did it, it was actually hold on. It was actually I actually got out of work early. The reason why is because I just was not able to work that day. Um because Monday, almost Monday night, I I found out through a phone call my mom was talking to my dad, and unfortunately one of my cousins has passed away from diabetes this Monday, last Monday, not this Monday. And it was hard. The reason why it was hard is because I just over the years since 2016, I've lost a lot of family members due to some kind of disease, whether it's diabetes, cancer, or another disease. Like, I had an uncle that unfortunately passed away in 2020 due to hepatitis C, and I think also diabetes as well. So, losing another cousin, it was not fun. Sometimes my cousin, well, I'm not gonna say his name because it's kind of a funny name, and I don't want him to get made fun of. Um, he would sometimes comment and like my posts and stuff, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram. And sometimes he said a lot of nice things to me, but um, before he had passed away, he got his leg amputated and wasn't taking good care of himself. He was in a coma, and I guess the doctors just decided to like get not keep going with the coma, so they probably turned off his monitors, and he unfortunately passed away on Monday, and it was really hard to take. I mean, I've lost since 2016, I have lost 6 family members from my dad's side of the family. And I wasn't really close with my cousin. I didn't know my cousin well. And I know people are probably going to be like, "Well, you don't know your cousin. How would why would you be sad about it?" Because I guess growing up as a kid, me and my brothers, we never got a chance to like visit our family in Mexico. We did one time when I was 15, and that was pretty much it. All my family comes from a really far village in Mexico, close to Acapulco. It's like a really hidden village. You can't find it on the map. And there were times where I wish that I would have had more time with my family and my cousins. But I don't know. I mean, things happen, and I come from a really poor family, and yeah, I'm not able to travel as much as I want to, especially when I was a kid. I mean, and plus, if my dad was able to go to Mexico, he wasn't able to come back into the U.S. That's another problem. And my cousin, My cousin wasn't that bad actually. He was skin and bones. Like he was starting to get skinny. He used to be chubby, but now he was skinny. But and supposedly he's having a ceremony this Tuesday. He'll be cremated in Colorado, and it kind of sucks because I wish I could have went, but I have work that day, and also I have other things I need to take care of here in California. I personally wish I would have known more about my family. I wish I could have known what they were like when they were younger, what kinds of things they did for fun as they were kids, and I don't know. It just sucks. I'll never get that opportunity with some of the family members that are no longer here. I mean, my grandma, she was gonna die either way, but I think when her daughter, my aunt, died, that was pretty much the final bullet for her, and she just passed away 2 months after she died. But yeah, it was. I cried when I found out. Like I couldn't even work either. I was crying, and I was just like, why did this happen? Why did my cousin die? He wasn't even that old. He was like in his 30s, 40s. And I was thinking about doing a GoFundMe for him because he has one leg now. He had one leg, but unfortunately he's no longer here. But I mean, the bright side of things is that he's finally with his mom and his brother and his sister. His brother passed away in 1990 something. He was actually living with me and my parents in another apartment. And he unfortunately passed away from cancer in 1997, 96. So it was a long time ago. And my cousin, his sister, she passed away from breast cancer in 2018, along with her mom, my aunt, in as well that same year. And yeah, I've seen the pictures of what cancer can do to you. It's brutal. I'll never forget the pictures I saw of my cousin before she had passed away. She had like one of her arms was all poofy and big, and it was I didn't know cancer was that bad. I literally thought it was just hair loss and just you looking all skinny and pale. But one of her arms was bigger than the other one. And having to lose all my cousin. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I wish I could have had more time with my cousins that passed away. They weren't even that old. They were like 40s, 30s. Yeah. The last time I saw my cousin, the her name was Suriana. She had hair, a lot of hair, longer hair, and her kids were like 3, 5 years old. Now they're like 18, 17. So I just can't imagine like losing a mom so young. But I mean, I do miss my cousins that have passed away. I don't even remember the cousin in the 1990s, sadly, because I was so young when he was living with us, me and my parents. My brothers weren't even born yet. And yeah, it's just I think I want to go to Colorado this month, this year actually, just to visit my uncles and in case if and maybe go to Mexico, but again, I'm kind of chunky, so I'm gonna try and lose some weight so I can see my family. It's just that when it comes to being chubby, your family kind of points it out. They're like, "Oh, it's been so long. I haven't seen you. You got big since the last time I saw you." Trust me, I've had some family members say that to me, sadly. Um, but yeah, I really, I really wish I could have had more time with my cousins and my aunts, my uncles, my grandma, maybe my grandpa, but again, he died in 1999. It just sucks. I feel really bad. I've always wanted to have cousins. living around here in California with me. I mean, I had some, but then they would leave like a couple months later. But it wasn't really that much. And I know I didn't know who my family was, but sometimes I just wish they would have lived here in California. And maybe we could have spent more time together. Maybe I could have developed friendships with them. Maybe they would have learned more English, had better education, probably choose better decisions, but unfortunately that never happened. Some of them. You know, I remember going to school sometimes, being jealous of some of my classmates having their cousins in schools or anywhere, and I'd be like, why can't I have that too? Why can't I have that in school? Why can't I have cousins in school too? But unfortunately, that never really happened that much. Rarely it happened. I wish things would have been a lot different. I mean, I wish my father, I wish his brothers and sisters would have put more work and maybe put more more thinking about, developing relationships and connections with their kids, with us, me and my brothers. But I don't think I'll ever get that experience. I mean, I'll never get that experience of having cousins around like my friends did, a lot of classmates did. I'll never be able to see some of my cousins. And I don't know. I mean, I still have cousins living, but a lot of them have grown up now. Now they're adults, they have kids. Me, I just have this. But I don't know. I think maybe I'll go back to Mexico just to check on everybody. Make sure that no one else passes away, because I swear every time a family relative passes, it feels like I'm losing time. And I wish I could have done more. But again, I mean, I was a kid, so I couldn't really do much. I mean, I can't just go to Mexico by myself as a child. But, I'm definitely gonna miss my cousin. He seemed like a really good man. And I would like to dedicate this episode to my cousin, Serafine Locia Eugenio. May you rest in peace, Seraphine. And I would say your nickname, but I'm pretty sure people are gonna have a good laugh with it. I miss. I really wish I could have done a lot more. I wish. I wish my parents would have. I wish my dad and my uncles and aunts would have done more to have me and my cousins, have more of a interaction relationship. But instead, we're so different. They're more Mexican and I'm more American. Well, not really, but kind of a bit of both. How I would like to have had my cousins here in the US. Maybe they would have made better choices. Maybe they wouldn't be drinking. Maybe they wouldn't have kids. Maybe I wouldn't be so depressed. Maybe I wouldn't be so lonely. But unfortunately, that will never happen. And I hope when I do have kids, and my brothers have kids, they also have like friendships and connections that me and my brothers we never had with our cousins. We only went to Mexico where they were at when it was 2008, and that was it. We never went back. I mean, my mom did, and my dad did a couple times, but me and my brothers never did, due to financial reasons. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I think I'm gonna end the stream right here. I thought there'd be more people on chat, but I guess everyone's tired and asleep and wants to go to bed. Believe me, I was like that too this morning. I was like, I don't want to go to Disneyland. I'm too tired. But I went anyway. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't that bad. It was just too many people, but I mean, it's spring break for some. Anyway, this is Douster, and catch me on Twitch this Sunday and Monday as I will be streaming Quiet on Set. And if you like this video, comment, like, or subscribe. Or if you would like to donate too, again, you don't have to. Any donation will do whatever I can to improve this stream, and also hopefully make it better too. I hope you guys like my drawing too. I know it looks a little bit boring. Maybe I should have picked a better color. But if you would like to donate, it should be in my bio, and if not, it should be in the chat right here. But thank you guys so much for your support. We're close to 400 subscribers, closer to 500 now. Thank you guys so much. I love all of you. Take care of yourself and everyone around you, and I'll do the same too. I'll do the best that I can and take care of myself too. But I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.